Hello there, it's Wale Oladipo here. Chronic stress is devastating thousands upon thousands of minds in our societies today. Wherever you look, somebody is stressing out. Somebody's coping mechanism is being inundated with situations, with challenges emotionally, psychologically, physical challenges, and the incredible amount of stresses and decisions and indecisions that we have to make in this generation. But what we do know is that when you're stressed and the natural coping mechanism becomes overloaded, overwhelmed, then your stress threshold drops. So that means you have no capacity for emotional regulation as you used to have. So a little thing can actually set you off. But the area I want to talk about today is the area of traumatic stress. Traumatic stress is a stress generated by a particular traumatic event in the past. And because of that, we live constantly in a perpetual state of flashback. So we trigger ourselves relative to the situation around us into a flashback situation of something that happened in the past that we've not been able to renegotiate with the brain. So what happens to you when your stress is triggered by live events, by things you can't even explain, or the things that you actually struggle to cope, to figure out why it's triggering you. For example, it could just be food that triggers you into a state of traumatic, stressful flashback. And it could be a taste, it could be a smell, it could be it could be a particular behavior of other people. It could be a location, an event. Now, if you've been triggered off and your stress reaction is activated because of those external or internal environments, environmental stressors, there are a few things you could do. Now, if you live in a constant state of triggers, traumatic, stressful triggers, the first thing to recognize when you're triggered off is to understand that you are going through a flashback. Say to yourself, I am having a flashback experience of something that happened in the past that my body has memorized, and because of that, my autonomic nervous system is reactive. So you acknowledge the fact that you're having a flashback. And that is very crucial, because if you don't do that, you miss the first prerequisite to integration, which is mindful awareness. For example, parenting triggers a lot of people off into their traumatic past, the way they were dealt with when they're growing up, or the love withheld, or the emotional repression that never saw the light of day. And because of that, you discipline your child, you trigger yourself off into a traumatic, emotional catastrophe, and you project that into your child. Now, when you're doing that, especially when you know that I didn't have control over that actually came upon me, that is the key clue to let you know that you've regressed. So quickly catch yourself and say, I'm having a flashback. And the second thing to do is to calm down. Find a way to time yourself out. A timeout time. A timeout time is not just for children. It's also for your emotional regulation. It's emotional intelligence, to practice timeout after you've been emotionally aroused by a traumatic past. Then the third thing I'd like you to do is to reaffirm yourself, re-nurture the inner child that has been dented in the past, that has not been able to heal. Say to yourself, I love you. Speak to your inner self, such as, I love you. And I love the way you are. You do not have to work harder to satisfy me. You do not have to be perfect to earn my love. And everything you're going through right now, I understand, because your brain has been shaped based on the emotional repression and emotional abandonment of the past. And now I'm here with you to help you in consciousness, gradually, one step at a time, moving you to a state of wholeness, of integration. Say that constantly into your mind. No judgment, no condemnation, affirmation, self-compassion is the key. I'm well allergic, but I hope this has been useful. We have a whole bunch of workshops that we run across the country to help people win the battle of over their mind. Why don't you join us? Go to www.mindbodybreakthrough.net and look at the calendar, look at the things that we've got on around the country. It'll be great to see you there. Like this and share it to those you feel need some constant reminder, reminder of the key things that we have to do for self-expression, for mental well-being. Speak to you soon.